Jenna, thanks. Turning now to breaking news. Police responding to Northampton High School this afternoon after reports of a bomb threat. Officials tell Western Mass News officers arrived at the school around 2 p.m. We're told the threat came from social media. Our Western Mass News crew caught up with Stacy Blanco, a parent outside the high school, and she said that communication from the school hasn't been good.
There was an email that went out earlier that was very vague, nothing about any sort of threat or violence, positive or negative. It was just something that said the superintendent was going to be sending out a notification shortly, which I didn't get.
Blanco said she became aware of the situation as she showed up to pick up her daughter from school. Our newsroom reached out to the school superintendent for comment, but we haven't yet heard back.